The past is over, it can touch me not. The past is over, it can touch me not. Lesson 289. So you can sense what this is going to be about. Releasing the past. That's beautiful. Thank God that we can do that and we have this help. Unless the past is over in my mind, the real world must escape my sight. Unless the past is over in my mind, the real world must escape my sight. For I am really looking nowhere, seeing but what is not there. How can I then perceive the world forgiveness offers? This the past was made to hide, for this the world that can be looked on only now. It has no past, for what can be forgiven but the past? And if it is forgiven, it is gone.
Father, let me not look upon a past that is not there, for you have offered me your own replacement. In a present world, the past is left untouched and free of sin. Here is the end of guilt. And here am I made ready for your final step. Shall I demand that you wait longer for your son to find the loveliness you planned to be the end of all of his dreams and all his pain?
Good last sentence. Shall I demand that you wait longer for your son to find the loveliness you plan to be the end of all his dreams and all his pain? Shall I demand that God waits to give us the loveliness that is there for us? No, we don't want to demand God to wait, right? We want that loveliness of the present. So let's dive into our minds and release and forgive whatever is in the way of this present loveliness that's ours to have, ours to experience. Release the blocks. The past is over, it can touch me not. The past has been made to hide the world that forgiveness offers. Without the past, there is just a happy world, a happy dream. The past was made to hide the world forgiveness offers. So this must be an invitation to escape the past, to release stories. And there is a powerful line that comes to mind, and that's gratitude to God becomes the way He is remembered. Gratitude to God is the way that He is remembered. We cannot be grateful to God and hold on to a story. Story, inherent in the word story, is the past. It's story. It's the past. History. And so we are called above the battleground. The battleground being the world of form and countless of stories. We need to go above or beyond this battleground and not be part of it. Our holy mind cannot participate. And when we try, we feel off, we feel worldly feelings and maybe attack thoughts. When we participate in the battleground, we feel like we are on a battleground. We have to defend. That's not what our holy mind is made for. It's made for freedom. If we read above the battleground, he's saying, do not remain in conflict, for there is no war without attack. The fear of God is fear of life and not of death. Yet he remains the only place of safety. In him is no attack and no illusion in any form that stalks heaven. Heaven is wholly true. No difference enters. And what is all the same cannot conflict. You are not asked to fight against your wish to murder, but you're asked to realize the form it takes conceals the same intent. You may not see there is a wish to murder, but the form it takes conceals its intent. And it is this you fear and not the form. What is not love is murder. What is not loving must be an attack. Every illusion is an assault on truth, and everyone does violence to the idea of love because it seems to be of equal truth. Any defense seems to be as strong as love. If you think of like making a point or getting your viewpoint through, or it's a defense in that. And it cancels out love. So do not remain in conflict, for there is no war without attack. So we're called above the battleground. We're called to be miracle workers. We can be miracle workers in this messy world by not taking it seriously, by letting Spirit lead us, by releasing our judgments, by releasing our viewpoints and our stories. And let Spirit interpret everything through us. Spirit is the great reinterpreter of all things. There is nothing too difficult. We need to be so aligned with this interpreter, this inner bright interpreter. We can't both have that and be right about things in the world. We'll have to be wrong many times if we want to follow love. It's to be wrong about form. And follow God's rightness, which is more saying that the world is not real. It's a lightness in that. You can't take things seriously. He's saying, see no one from the battleground, for there you look on him from nowhere. See no one from the battleground, for there you look on him from nowhere. You have no reference point from where to look, where meaning can be given to what you see. For only bodies could attack and murder, and if this is your purpose, then you must be one with them. Only a purpose unifies, and those who share a purpose have a mind as one. The body has no purpose of itself and must be solitary. From below, it cannot be surmounted. From above, the limits it exerts on those in battle still are gone and not perceived. From above the battleground, you will not see the limits of the body. You will identify with Spirit. The body stands between the Father and the heaven he created for his Son, and the heaven he created for his Son, because it has no purpose. The body stands between because it has no purpose. So there's no point in identifying with the body. We need to take it lightly, even that we have a name, that we have a personal name and that we identify as this person. We have to take that very, very lightly and not as our identity. Communication is our function, is our purpose. So we can practice to let the Holy Spirit communicate through us. That's how we undo the identification with the body person. Think what is given those who share their Father's purpose and who know that it is theirs. They want for nothing. Sorrow of any kind is inconceivable. Only the light that they love is in awareness, and only love shines upon them forever. It is their past, their present, and their future, always the same, eternally complete, and wholly shared. They know it is impossible that their happiness could ever suffer change of any kind. Perhaps you think that the battleground can offer something that you can win. Can it be anything that offers you a perfect calmness and a sense of love so deep and quiet that no touch of doubt can ever mar your certainty and will last forever? Those with the strength of God in their awareness could never think of battle. What could they gain but loss of their perfection? For everything fought for on the battleground is of the body. Nothing it seems to offer or to own. Something it seems to offer or to own. No one who knows that he has everything could seek for limitation. Nor could he value the body's offerings. The senseless of conquest is quite apart from the quiet sphere above the battleground. What can conflict with everything? And what is there that offers less, yet could be wanted more? Who, with the love of God upholding him, could find the choice of miracles or murder hard to make? I like this, above the battleground. It's from chapter 23, part 9.
Part 4.
Part 4. Thank you. I can't read numbers. Chapter 23, part 4. Yeah, this is good stuff. We choose heaven or hell, awareness or dreams, present or past stories. And in the present, we need to be led and guided. We can be open to have the courage to follow spirit. It takes some courage. We talked with Dirk about that yesterday. How it's a bit fearful to be different. You may seem different when you follow spirit in this world. People may wonder what's he doing? He's closing his eyes. He's meditating in the middle of a meeting, or you may feel like you're judged. But to be okay, because you need your relationship with spirit. You can't have both. You can't be a player in the world and rest in God. You can rest in God and be above the battleground and be, where you're called to be, of course. Do your miracle working. That's the only way. And I mean, when I left work and I thought it's crazy to trust God, like, how do you get sustained? How do I know I have what I need for the future? Because I didn't have savings. I borrowed money for a ticket to the United States. I didn't even have that. I had $20 when I was in the US. I ate what people gave me to eat. I took a bus. I bought a bus ticket for maybe $10 to go between 2 states, or through many states actually, from Iowa to Ohio. But I had always what I needed, and I still do. It's divine providence, and we are all called to that. We shouldn't fear. Sometimes I think we rely on fear instead of trust, and that's scary. Like David used to say, I don't know where you live, Jesus, but here money doesn't grow on trees. And it makes sense, because we are made to rely on money here and not trust God. So it's good to take in and question what we rely on, what we trust here. Actually cost $17, the bus ticket, and someone has paid it for me because I had only $20. It just came to me. It's funny that I remember that because it was how many years ago? 16 years ago. So very, very helpful lesson today. The past is over, it can touch me not. We invite God's presence rather than stories, rather than fear or concern. We can open up the room for sharing if anyone has anything. Eva?
Yeah, I have a word that has come to me. So one word that says it all to me: consistency. Consistency. I think I've never been consistent. And now it's like, it's time to be consistent. So I'm so grateful. That's so much.
Thank you for sharing that. I love that. Yeah. Thank you. I used to have a word like that come sometimes for months. It kept being told. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. I see it like we are just getting out of some old clothes, like, releasing the past is like getting out of the old clothes that are too tight, too constricted, and they are based in the past conditioning. Yeah. It's nice to get out of them. and wear something lighter, and wear the symbol of your personal self lightly. I think your story is so nice, Barret, because you were taught to achieve something, to have a business and achieve, but you were never into that. You were just into peace of mind.
Yeah. And I was in business for myself for like over a decade. But I always was open to letting it go completely. I was even like a specific prayer I would say, you know, if this is not what is the most helpful, I'll just stop doing this, you know.
And it was even a healing business. It was even for healing, but it was still a business.
Yeah, it fell away so gently. Awesome.
Yesterday, I shared with Jenny and Barret, how to free myself completely from this attack thoughts and dragging in the past and going into sorrow about my son's life. And then I had sorrow coming up again, and I could have it over again. And today's lesson, which I have done many times before, and of course I wish to just leave that sorrow behind and not go into that pool of sorrow and whatever thinking that goes with it. I know very well what kind of thinking. It's not like it's mystery to me. But today when I heard the lesson, I heard the words, sorrow is inconceivable. That's the only thing I remember from what you said today. And the past is over. And I just wanted to share how I feel now. I can't even, I mean, I can because I have before, but I can't even go there if I try to see it as something that would cause me sorrow. Now I can't go there because I see things so differently. And it's amazing how this shift within, nothing has changed out there. And it's just, it makes me so safe. And it's so extremely helpful, and it makes me feel so safe because whatever I get caught up in and whatever sorrow I mush around in or whatever other kind of thinking, I know there's way out. I know, always. And when you read the lesson today, I also felt I could see it also, in terms of looking at my son and his life, and the kind of thinking that goes with it is that I very much bring in the past, very much. And by doing that, I create fear of the future. It's just, And I feel so strongly now that just it can't be the truth. The reality is such a much kinder place, and it's just completely without sorrow. So I just felt like sharing that.
Thank you. That's really beautiful. It's like entering the holy relationship with your son, beyond the form.
Yeah.
Can be no sorrow in that. Thank you. And I love that, how it feels, when you have let go of something, it is gone. Like you cannot find it. You can't, yeah. You cannot understand it. I don't know the way you described it, but it's like, yeah. From this state of mind, you cannot understand it.
No. I mean, everything has led me to here. So these are all my very important lessons, so I just feel so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Asa.
All right.
I feel like we're all riding the wave of gratefulness. I just feel so grateful for the two of you. Like, you've saved my life.
Glory to God.
Yeah. The movie last night is today's lesson. It's funny because I felt kind of disinterested all the way through the movie last night, and they had judgments around that, like, I used to hang on to every word David said intently, and now I'm off making food and then judging myself. And then I kind of left last night feeling, I knew I had stuff going on, but I was trying to pin it to something. I didn't know what it was. But then this morning, there's been a lot of emotion as well that I don't even want to investigate, really. I just want to let it up. But like an insight that it was something to do with you saying, like, you still believe in the concept of lying. And like, it's hard to even talk about it. Like the whole past, the whole world and the whole past is just one big lie.
Yeah, that's a good description.
And seeing, like, to be above the battleground, it was this feeling like every erroneous thought, behaviour, situation which the movie was full of last night, just nonsense, the nonsense of the world, is forgivable because it's just fear.
Yeah, exactly. It's completely forgivable because it's not real. It's a story.
Yeah.
Where Jesus even could be murdered, hung on a cross without being affected or attached to it. He's like, just forgive them. They have no idea what they're doing.
It's like it suddenly makes sense. Like a light bulb has gone on in a dark room that's been dark for millennia. And yet there was feet. Yeah, it's brought up a lot of emotion in the sense that loads of different emotions, frustration at feeling like I've lived my whole life and probably many lives. Like, what is going on? What is going on? And no one can explain to me. There's anger and all sorts wrapped up in it. A lifetime mantra of I don't like people. Feels like it's all part of the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like realizing you were tricked all along. Believe that you were a person, and yeah, at the mercy of other persons, conditioning. So you can allow some emotion, some anger at that.
Yeah, and see, because I've seen how it's been directed outwards. It's a hatred of the world and a hatred of the people doing all of these crazy things in the world. But then it feels like it's come to me that not that I've generated it, but it's just my fearful thoughts that is the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it makes it easier to forgive it. Say, it was just my own fearful thoughts that generated all of it.
Yeah.
I was never a victim to anyone or anything. But it looked that way when you identify as a person. You can look like you were a victim.
Yeah. So just saying, show me, like, reinterpret this. I want, as if it can all be put in a box, just one big thing. And it was funny because the tap started dripping. And at first it was dripping and it felt like a message from Holy Spirit, like you can let go of this in like a leaky tap, drip, drip, drip. And then it went on. It started pouring out the water. I thought, I can do that. I can just turn the tap on full and
that's great. Even when we are, losing all water here in the area, diffusing that.
Yeah. I want to be a miracle worker, not a murderer.
No.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie. It's beautiful. The state of nothing matters. Like they said in the movie, everything, everywhere, all at once. Nothing matters. Nothing matters. Dirk.
Yeah, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I felt it would be good to say something. During this session, I had different themes in my mind coming up. First was this to live or to feel completely loving. And there's a voice in me that says it's not possible. It's even because I think then I conceive of the form level, or I use the form level to convince me that it's not possible to be loving, not fearful. My past is about fear and guilt. It's about guilt. In this guilt system, past, present, future. So I will be punished in the future, or I lose something if I am only loving. Wow.
It's good to see that one.
Yeah. although love is my nature.
Exactly.
to feel loving and to feel grateful,
Mm-hmm.
and to feel maybe with mighty, then to feel, to have a mighty feeling in this love that's stronger than these guilt concepts, my personal guilt concepts, even my behaviors, or do I care enough about my daughter, for my daughter? I'm interested enough, and so, and or other things. And it was, but it's, I think this to change this guilt system in a love system, guided by the Holy Spirit, guided by another voice.
Yeah, that's it. And he says it takes, it's difficult to sustain the holiness in a world of pain. It's hard to, but you're not of the world. So that's the answer. It's like, it's not as a person that you are holy, it's as a spirit, so that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a good reminder. It's not about me as a person, my concepts. And my fear that I have to give up my life, my job, my securities here. So I am making up a fantasy how it looks like, and it's fearful. It's not present. Because I don't know. But or even to give up my job, because it could be, if it's senseless or not helpful. And then my fear, as you said, what about the money? What about my living? And
and then that is where the other thought system needs to prevail. Spirit's thought system is very different than the worldly thought system. So all the planning and all the future thoughts, God may be giggling at that. It's not in God's awareness. It's not, life is your birthright, or life is what sustains you. Love is what sustains you. And it's true, and form is not true. So it is just a fear to overcome this. And what comes to my mind is from Littleness versus Magnitude. That chapter, you might enjoy reading it, because there's a lot of helpfulness there. He's saying all your striving must be directed against littleness. He's not saying all your striving must be directed towards having a safe future in the world. It's saying all your striving must be directed against littleness, for it does require vigilance to protect your magnitude in this world. To hold your magnitude in perfect awareness in a world of littleness is a task the little cannot undertake. Yet it is asked of you in tribute to your magnitude and not your littleness. Nor is it asked of you alone. The power of God will support every effort you make on behalf of his dear Son. Search for the little and you deny yourself his power. God is not willing that his Son be content with less than everything.
Wow. Mm.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And that line, to hold your magnitude in a world of littleness, is a task the little cannot undertake. Yet is it asked of you? Because you're not little.
Yeah. And it's about this littleness, and I feel even guilt, or I feel shame that at the moment that I live this way I am living right now, with a job and that I see so much a battlefield at my workplace, in all these discussions and strivings and so on.
Yeah.
Because I see it often, I see it this way, and it's as you
And
said,
you're a whole other species.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
walk
So,
in there, you're not part of it.
yeah, it's not so far away to speak about me closing my eyes in a meeting to meditate or to pray and not to feel judged. Because my colleagues knew it. They know me, and I think they appreciate it as well. But it's, still fearful about my surroundings. My surroundings are judging me for my behaviors. It's like a threat.
Yeah, and it's made up by the mind to do that. Yeah. So it is about always practicing to identify with who you truly are.
Yeah. Yeah, then I fear that I am going I don't function very well, seemingly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But trust, because there will come that point when you may feel like, hey, I can't play this game anymore.
Yeah.
Trust that you will be ready for each step. So just to practice coming back to the present moment.
Yeah, and to practice the daily lessons is very helpful. So even to bless.
Yeah.
Then I will see what comes. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's my prayer. Yeah. And then what what was the movie last night?
David showed the movie God's Not Dead, Part 2.
Part 2. Okay.
There are 4 movies. He's going to show all 4. And he showed number 2 yesterday.
4 even. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your call yesterday. After this call, it happened something in my mind. There was a deeper. I couldn't describe it. Even it was a reaction deeper. In something is changing, or something has to change. Also, it was an interesting. So it touched me deeper. Yeah.
Glad.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing. We're so joined. I feel it. And good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, something came into my mind just a few minutes ago. I've been struggling a bit with tiredness, and there is a shift happening, and it's quite strong actually, and it's beautiful. But there is still some stuff from the past, so it's like it's a great lesson. And Eva mentioned the consistency, but a scene from, well, it's a few scenes from the movie just kept coming into my mind from last night, just over the last few minutes. And there was a character in the movie, and she took the place of the minister on the jury. And we didn't know anything about her, but the camera just kept going to her intermittently. She never said a word, she never spoke. But she seemed to have a strong presence, and there was something so beautiful about the fact that she didn't need to speak, she didn't need to do anything. And right at the end of the movie, as she walked out, she just nodded to the woman that kind of won the case, turned around, and she just had a little cross on her neck, which signified, you know, her love of Jesus in my mind. And there was just something about that presence, about, you know, not having to speak or say anything, just to be there. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. And that's what's kind of stayed with me from the movie. I just felt I needed to say it out loud somehow. But that's all really. Yeah. And this sense of tiredness seems to be moving through as well. I don't know why that comes in.
It feels like the answer to tiredness, that presence, that trust.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like from a human perspective, I have no idea. I can't even put my mind into it or try and work it out. Nothing. It's like I can't. No. Yeah. That is all the past somehow.
Yeah. The invitation to realize that rest comes from awakening and not from sleeping. You know, that's so profound.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any other expressions?
Just a really quick one. I'm just watching, I don't know how everybody else can see it, Eva's image, and the light's coming in through the window. It's sort of, there it is. And it's just, it's just streaming, and it keeps coming and going. It's like throbbing. And it's, oh, wow, it's so inspiring, so amazing to just see the truth made visible. You can even see it with your eyes. You know, you can't even fail to see that. You know, something like unreal, really. Thank you. That's all I wanted to share. But very real. But, yeah.
Beautiful. I saw it too. Eva.
Oh, thank you, Peter. I can just say, I saw this coming in, you know, and it's so beautiful. And to almost be like, I have to change something here because the light is coming in a spectacular way, but to allow it in. And I felt like it's like this impersonal, it's like radiating out.
Yeah.
The person, the image. I think it's so beautiful symbol.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy for that, to allow it.
It's like a light bubble. It's beautiful. So I read from the last chapter I read from was littleness versus magnitude. It's chapter 15, part 3. Now I got it right. Chapter 15, part 3. Of the Course in Miracles, in case somebody is watching that doesn't know. Well, it's amazing. It's an amazing journey. And yeah, recognition. It's not even a journey, it's recognition. It's awakening. It's finding the way out of limitation. And the lessons and the course are very helpful pointers, but they're not it. They are pointers. They're guiding. But we don't need to be ritualistic about it. We can allow spirit, free spirit, to guide us through. There is such strong presence and magnitude. It's available. Okay, Julie just raised her hand. Julie?
I just need to talk about something that's very uncomfortable. So the thought of like suicide and death, it's like uppermost in the Julie character's mind. And it seems like that's all around. I don't know whether it's because I'm in the UK or just because it's the mass awakening. It's like everybody seems to be talking about it. So this fear of death or the fear that someone could kill themselves, you know, that's not, it's not real, but my mind wants to make it real all the time. Like that's the battlefield. My mind wants to make that something. Yes, there could be violence. Yes, somebody could be hurt in some way because they've hurt themselves.
Yeah, so rather than thinking of it as, oh, it's not real and trying to find that state of mind, maybe allow your emotions about it. You know, it seems like it does affect you in a way you may feel really, really sad about this.
Yes, very sad.
Yeah.
And, you know, I witnessed a fight, a physical fight in the street, yesterday, and I called the police because it was happening in front of me. And I was just shaking, because of what was going on around me. So I obviously still give some attention to wanting this world to be real. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been afraid in that situation.
Yeah.
And what was the fear underneath that the man will die because they'll kill him,
Mm-hmm.
And I got myself involved. I even picked up the guy who was beaten up and took him away.
Yeah, glad you were there. Be of help to him.
Okay, but underneath that, it's like, what I then ask, why is that happening?
Mm-hmm.
Why a humanity? That's what upsets me, that humanity are trying to kill themselves and each other.
Yeah, and it must be something that you are dealing with. Suicide, killing, murder,
Yeah.
pain.
I have it at the moment. Every morning I wake up, that's the first thought I have. I need to die.
Yeah, so it's a reflection of that. It's a death wish.
Yeah, but then I can't judge that because, it's like Dirk just said, we said something about don't take it personally, don't even judge it. It's not even, what is the thing that wants to die?
Good question, actually. Yeah.
But it's intense. I mean, it's absolutely intense.
Yeah.
And like this morning, my impulse is always to just run away, somehow get away, but that doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Change the one illusion for another, doesn't work.
Well, you're not meant to live a little life in solitude. That's you have a calling. You're on this path of awakening, and your calling is to wake up, to heal everything. So it's something now you're looking at death, the idea of death, and you need to look at it, and not buy into it. There are more steps,
Yeah.
And we have known each other for a few years, and you are joining sometimes, but then you pull away sometimes to.
Yeah, because of this particular thing.
Because of the death wish.
Yes.
Yeah, I get the word can of worms. Like it can be like the world is like a can of worms. Then when you open it, you get the worms,
Yeah.
But you're not meant to open it. You're meant to fly above it. You're meant for awakening. And when you search in the world, you get what the world offers, and it is nothing.
But people are parts of my mind that still believe in the world. They come to me with drama, or this person has cancer, or I'm working with people who are committing suicide. Yes. And then they're in such a drama about it, and I don't pay any attention. It appears I have zero compassion because I'm not doing their thing. I'm doing Jesus' part in miracles.
Beautiful. And so you need to carry on.
Yeah, I can't show them any compassion. And then the person telling me this drama, I don't know what they think or how they can look upon me, because I'm not giving them a solution, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the true empathy, when you practice true empathy, you work with forgiveness. You see, you watch, and you don't judge anything. That's what forgiveness does. It quietly does nothing.
That's right, because the other part of my mind says, tell them that you do healing work. Tell them that. And I'm not doing that. I'm not saying I can help you. when the person tells me this person's got cancer. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you may not be guided to say that. You may not be, because you're still just really looking at your mind.
It's best that I stay silent, I see, because I'm thinking of one particular lady now, she has so many points of view, and her husband too. It feels like I can't even go there. I just be silent.
Yeah, because the world doesn't want healing. And you
Exactly
know that.
And the world is always looking to fix stuff. And
but you're here to heal your mind and to see that the world is in your mind. And it's a very important step to be very guided, to say no when you feel a no. Say, no, I'm not available to talk to you now, or I'm not feeling this, to really trust the guidance. Because you're here to release the world as you see it. And that's a very deep path. You cannot both engage in it and release it. You can't believe it's real and undo it,
Yeah. So, and also at the same time, I get myself mixed up with conventional Christianity, and I meet people from various churches and they say to me, well, you shouldn't be doing the Course in Miracles. That is way off.
Yeah, of course you say that. Yeah, you need to go to Course in Miracles groups instead of conventional churches. But if you're drawn to Christianity, watch David's movie gatherings these days. He's showing movies made by Christians and he's overjoyed about it. And he uses it for awakening. It's very purposeful. So you could watch next Saturday with David and it would be very healing.
I think that's what's totally up in the collective mind, the idea of church. And, I feel like I see some happy Christians. They look happy.
That's beautiful. And that reflects your happiness, and belief in God is very opening. So I'm glad there are some happy Christians, I grew up with Christians in a Christian setting and a church, and it was very genuine. Even for me, I was very genuine as a Christian, but it was limiting because there was a lot of talk about sin and guilt and the belief that Jesus died for our sins. It didn't compute for me. I couldn't stay in that setting, but it is genuine. They yearn for God, we as Christians, we yearn for God, and that is very genuine. So
thank you. And the thought that comes, is when I want to die, it's attached to, there's no hope here. And of course there's no hope, because there's no hope in the world of time.
Exactly. It's made for death.
So my mind wants to be devastated about that. There's absolutely no point in living.
But that is death. Your mind wants to be devastated. That is the death belief.
Yeah.
So that is where you need transcendence, and you need reflections of truth and mighty companions. You need to turn away from the can of worms to where you can have sustenance for your soul, for your spirit, and not entertain suicide and death and murder, because it's not your birthright. You'll get so tired of it and get tired by it.
And in that, I have to trust that there is such a thing as a mighty companion, you see?
Yeah.
Because what if they're just on pedestals and they're just lying, and okay, they're here in the session, but in the tea break they'll be attacking themselves and each other. That idea.
Maybe you have a call with Matthew and ask how it is to live, because we live together. We dare to live together.
Sure, but I've been to Endeavour Academy and I've seen people attack.
I know you have
constantly.
You have constantly. You have some bad past experiences, but the lesson today says that the past is not reliable. It says Yeah, unless the past is over in my mind, the real world must escape my sight. For I'm really looking nowhere, seeing but what is not there.
Mm-hmm.
That experience is of the past, you know, and you are a bit afraid of community and spiritual
I am. Yeah.
issues. Yeah, because of
Lack of trust.
Lack of trust. Because you had some scary experiences. The past was made to hide what forgiveness offers. So this past with bad, even spiritual community experience is made to hide what forgiveness offers you now.
It's that seeking after like total unconditional love and acceptance that Ram Dass talks about, that he was always looking for, and he didn't find it till he found that guru named Karoli Baba. He didn't find it till then, and when he found it, he cried for 3 days without stopping.
It's beautiful.
It's like, that's what I want. I want someone to show me that it's possible to have total unconditional love on this planet, and then I'll believe that there's such a thing as a mighty companion. Otherwise, if there's not that, I get so much anger coming up, and I hate people. I hate everyone.
Yeah. And the first step is to trust someone. Maybe scan your mind and see who stands out, who just Jesus point out as one you can trust. Because we can't undo our own ego. So there needs to be. So Ram Dass really trusted this master, this guru that he was guided to. And yeah, some of us are called to have a guru, to have a teacher to help us awaken, you know, and we need to trust the one that is given, the one
that's right, because I have such resistance to that. It's like, teach, I don't need to be taught. I go into that. Why would I need a teacher? You know, I go into that.
Yeah, but you taught yourself wrongly. You know, you taught the world to teach you who you are, and it's off. So you need another teacher.
I need Jesus Christ, but what I'm talking about is I have resistance to a teacher in form.
Yeah, and it doesn't help you to have that resistance.
This is what I need to get beyond.
Yeah.
But I'm the rebel, I'm the ultimate rebel, you know, and I just want to attack people.
Yeah, so you need to lay aside your defense, your defensiveness, and take some steps, because otherwise you go around in circles, you know.
I'm in circles. I'm definitely in circles.
And this Course in Miracles, all the way through, it points to trusting your brother, all the way through. And it's all about your brother. It's all about, you know, your companion. And so that is where there has been a lot of fear and defense and isolation. But yeah, there is an invitation for you to take a step beyond where you have taken steps before. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a retreat soon in November. It'd be nice to see you here.
Thanks.
Okay. Laurie.
Yeah, can I just put something on the altar quickly? It came up again after I shared, and it's this feeling like, if I really step into the light and if I really let the light shine through me, I'll be hated. So it comes up like, I don't want people to think I'm showing off or I'm a know-it-all, and yet the ego does, and I don't want to. So then I want to stay small to protect myself. And I judge myself, like I probably judge my motivations for. I want to be able to shine and not have that.
Yeah, try it out. Keep trying it out, and you will get strengthened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's spirit, and because with the ego says, oh, you just want to shine as a person, but it's not. It's the spirit that wants to shine through you. And if you keep thinking of it that way, spirit shining, then there can be no self-attack in that.
Yeah.
Try it out, allow it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Beautiful. What you brought up also with feeling disturbed by the movements of hands. And I'm just feeling the message of the spiritual eye, the seeing with vision and not even with the body's eyes. To trust that vision. The inner vision. Mm. Yeah, I like the spiritual eye, and it's the Holy Spirit. And above the battlefield and all of it we talked about, I feel, the salvation is a game that happy children play. That's what this is. It's a way out of this limited belief in the world. I think I will end this meeting with a song. That was so nice. So many things she sang in the song. That was like we talked about. Thanks, everyone. And I think the last line of the song, every road you tread is a road that's paved with gold. That just must be the Holy Spirit's perspective, That's the healed perspective, healed past, the forgiven past. Okay, see you soon. Bye-bye.